What is up? Welcome back to Softcore History. I am your host for the week, Rob Fox. I am joined, as always, by Dan Regester and Jake Goldman, and today might be the episode that finally gets us canceled from Earth.
From Earth?
Oh,
from Earth.
Murdered.
Oh.
Murdered.
Oh. You mean like real life canceled?
Yeah.
Not internet canceled.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you die on the internet, do you die in real life?
No.
Sometimes.
I mean,
so we're getting Charlie Hebdo.
Hebdo.
Yeah.
Is it?
That one.
I don't know.
I
Is that
actually
like
don't.
Doesn't matter.
Yep.
No.
Your favorite thing, Rob?
What?
The Mandela effect.
Yeah, exactly. You're both right.
In my timeline, it was this one. Yeah.
Well, be a funny thing. I just could just make fun of the Mandela effect constantly. You could just like claim you've be like, yeah, dude, we had sex. Like, no, we didn't. Like some hot girl. Be like, oh, you know what? I slid universes, but we banged.
That might actually get you to bang in this universe, though.
Yeah, so we did, and you loved it in that universe. But I got to a different universe.
Yeah. No, you're never wrong. You just time shifted.
What if it's not even the Mandela effect? Let's call it something else.
Whoa. In this universe, it's the Morgan Freeman effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the it's the Mandarin effect, actually.
The Mandarin.
Yeah, the Mandarin effect. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, everyone. From this universe. Now, today we are talking about a cool, hot internet trend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fun.
We might even be late on it, actually. I think time has passed.
But you know what? It broke this week.
It did. But, the internet moves in 48-hour intervals.
Yes, generations have passed since. You getting high today?
A little bit.
Getting a little buzz on?
No free ads.
No free. I won't say what you're drinking, but Dan's drinking some THC drink.
Like you said, we might get murdered, so
Live it up.
chill out.
It's like the end of the world, man. Just got to party.
Yeah, just fucking go with it. So if you don't know, the Osama bin Laden fucking letter to America in 2002 has been going like viral on TikTok. The most asinine thing about the debate around it is now like a lot of left-wing people are coming out and being like, it's actually just a right-wing moral panic. It didn't even go that viral. Like it's gotten like millions of views. I wouldn't say it's mega viral at all. So, but they're like getting semantic about it for some reason.
Yeah, because there's no way to defend it. I don't know.
It's crazy.
They take this like little blurb from 8 pages.
If 10 million right-wingers were quoting Mein Kampf, that would not be an insignificant number to them. It's fucking crazy.
And, of course, we already have the Nazis go out in, I think, Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh, they're everywhere.
No, but they came out.
Oh, I saw them. Yeah,
they were
out.
marching.
They were having a good old time.
Bad look
So
for
definitely
Wisconsin.
feds, right? Definitely feds.
No. You can't just blame everything you don't like on feds.
Yes, you can.
It's all feds, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Everything's feds. We're all feds.
We're feds ourselves. Doing this
Actually,
podcast.
yeah, we're a psyop. We're a psyop.
If everything's a psyop, nothing's a psyop.
That's what a psyop would want you to think.
Yeah, you're talking like a psyop.
You're talking like a psyop, bro.
But so this letter went viral because it's basically like this is like the Gen Z Unabomber situation, basically.
I was about to say, like, if you like Bin Laden's letter, wait till you hear about this manifesto.
No, dude.
It's like
those kids wouldn't like Ted's letter because they would find the thing that offended them in it.
No, dude, it's all environmental friendly.
It is very environmental friendly, but and honestly, it really only shits down. Does it shit on like lefties or just neolibs?
It shits on everyone.
It shits on everyone. Like
everyone.
he hates everything.
It's the South Park of manifestos.
He makes some
really.
good points.
Yeah, up until like that one part. The
If he
bulk.
just never sent mail, he'd be fine.
The guy just ran out of stamps.
Yeah.
He'd be
Well,
a hero.
we don't know that. Again, we've theorized this before. He may have just been sending packages, but since he's Polish, he was so
really
bad
bad at
at
it,
sending the packages.
That's a classic Pole joke waiting to happen.
That's the ultimate.
I mean,
Polak
what
joke.
other Polish jokes are there? They're very good at getting invaded.
They're incompetent at doing simple things, and yeah, but the French kind of undercut them on the invasion stuff. They do. There are good jokes about that too, about the Polish rolling over pretty fast.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they had pitchforks against tanks.
They got Eiffel Towered by the Soviets and the Germans.
You're just done. Just wave it.
What are you doing?
Wave that flag.
And they did charge a tank battalion or something on horseback, so shit happened. I think they won that fight though, actually.
No way.
I think they did.
I mean, the Zulus were fighting with handheld weapons against guns, and they held their own.
I'd take the Zulus over the Poles.
Yeah, the Zulus were, and that was late 1800s.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 1870s.
Still holding their own.
Held their own. Isla fucked them up real good. But yeah, so this letter, honestly, it's basically like, so I read it. I have the whole contents. We're going to kind of break it down, not line by line by line, but a lot of lines. I thought it's relevant for two reasons. One, it is technically outside of our 20-year window. It was written in 2002. And two,
we also never really implemented a 20-year window.
We did.
We've talked about it.
What it takes
that was
to
kind of like by the seat of our pants.
Well,
I think the definition is what makes a car antique is like 20 years to get an antique tag on it, apparently.
I just say that's what the subreddit Ask Historians does.
So they say 20 years?
My 2002 Pontiac
I was about to say,
Aztec
that can't be true, though.
antique.
I was about to say, like, that would mean like a 96 Honda Civic could be rolling around with an
My
antique
01
tag on
Ford
it.
Taurus.
Yeah.
Classic car.
You hold on to it long enough. What is that Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark quote? He's like, this watch got it for $5 on the street. Worthless. I bury it in the sand for 1,000 years. It's priceless.
Yeah, that's exactly what our grandparents thought about railroad bonds.
And savings bonds and
I
shit.
have an uncashed savings bond in my
Dude, it's probably
office right
I
now.
it's probably got like an
cashed out all
ROI
my
of
bonds.
2%.
It honestly is probably worth more if I don't cash it and just hold on to it as an antique.
I did it in 2019, obviously, when I was down bad.
Oh,
I had
Every
about
savings bond's
$2,000 worth in saving bonds or whatever, and I got about $2,000.
yeah.
It was.
You're lucky it went up.
It stayed
Not
the
really.
same.
Yeah.
yeah,
Which means it kind of went down.
Mm-hmm. It's actually worth less.
yeah.
Yeah.
It went down.
Inflation.
Yeah.
If it was, did they buy it for $2,000 in the 80s or whatever?
Probably. Yeah.
Should
Then
be worth
it's
way
less.
more.
It's worth less than it would have. Just put it in a saving. Just put it in your fucking bitch ass savings.
Thanks,
account.
Pawpaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it believe in the government? Something. I don't know. Anyway, this manifesto
He was
or
a
whatever.
hero. He fought in Korea. How dare you? And by that I mean he fixed planes and played basketball.
Hey, man, someone's got to fix the planes.
Reading the manual.
That's sorry you read a good manual.
I know. He knew how to fix one plane.
I just want to say, like, if they can make a manual for anyone to just pop in and be like, all right,
You plug and the mechanics are plug and play.
yeah, like
He had
you
no
can use the
mechanical
tools.
experience. He's just like, I'm going to fix this plane and send somebody up tomorrow.
Yeah,
And it worked, kind of, maybe.
that's crazy.
I don't know
Yeah, he
how
didn't
much
really.
blood he had
Did he
on his
tell you
hands.
how all the planes worked
Nope.
out? Yeah, I didn't.
Sure didn't.
He's like, I just got to play more and more basketball.
Yeah. And then he worked in an airport after and almost got smoked by a plane because he was driving on the runway when he wasn't supposed to.
Dude,
That'll do it.
side note, we've had like 2 brutal deaths at AIA in like the last 3 months, I think.
Austin?
Really?
People getting smoked on the tarmac. Yeah,
What are you doing
workers.
out there?
It's just dudes that are like one guy, the brake on the luggage carrier, the brake didn't work, got his head taken off.
Fuck, really?
Yeah, the brake didn't work and like he hit something and it took his head off, I believe.
Why don't you just dive out of it?
I don't know.
It's an open cart.
I would think so.
It's like
but
it's like not bailing out of a golf cart.
yeah, then there's another one though. I forget the other one was supposed to be pretty brutal too. They got hit by a carrier. It has to do with like the luggage
every
carriers.
death at an airport is usually brutal.
There's not a lot of good ones. Yeah, no one chokes on a Cinnabon.
No,
It's always just like decapitated by a.
because the Cinnabon is pure sugar. It'll melt before you choke.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, it's fine. It's also the food equivalent of Xanax.
Yeah,
Eat
what
one
would
of
be
those
the
and go on a
worst way to
flight.
go out in the airport?
Worst way?
Yeah.
Sucked into a jet engine, probably.
Jet turbine or a plane lands on your plane. That might be the worst
Plane
one.
on a plane.
Yeah, you're gonna die if that happens. Met a guy one time that survived that happening. He was like one of the few people that did. Said he had a really bad survivor's guilt.
Really? I'd be like, oh, I'm awesome.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm unbreakable.
I'm
Yeah.
fucking.
I'd be flying all the time because, like, the chances of that happening. Well,
Oh,
now
no.
we're probably higher.
I would just test my strength like Bruce Willis.
Yeah, just fly every flight.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Get on every train.
Well, speaking of planes crashing,
Yeah. So this letter, it's interesting, A, for the historical thing, like I said, but B, or for the 20-year window, right? So it is technically outside that window. And B, though, it makes a lot of historical claims. So it's a lot of history, a bit of a he tries to give you some history lessons.
Can we also talk about how he was a literal billionaire?
Trust fund kid.
Yeah, trust fund, Nepo baby.
Nepo terrorist.
Dad owned, I believe, the biggest construction company in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. His
Got a handout. Didn't earn it.
He was. I mean, like if you look at him, like early,
He cosplayed as a poor.
he did. He was just like that's. I feel like the Middle Eastern version of backpacking through Europe or becoming like living on a commune for a little while is sort of just going to fight a holy war.
Should have hooped.
Should have hooped.
In the
dude.
words of Terry Rozier, he should have hooped.
Dude,
Is he 6'7", something like that?
he's really tall.
He's really tall. I don't
think he's 6'6". I think he's
Maybe
6'6".
6'5", 6'6".
Yeah.
But also, there's pictures of him going around that he's a black belt.
In what?
I would believe Sambo, kind of like a wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, lanky motherfucker, man.
Mhm.
Can get around you.
But I have not seen anything that confirmed that. I've only seen the one photo where he's wearing a black belt.
Well, I mean, shit.
Could
If
be
that's-
stolen valor.
If that's all you need, I can be a black belt tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was born quite rich. And, trust fund kid, blah, blah, blah. So, the letter makes a lot of historical claims because he's basically justifying two things. The whole letter is basically this. Or three things, I'm sorry. A, he justifies attacking the United States. B, he justifies why he gets to kill civilians in particular.
Oh.
And C, what we need to do to stop being attacked by him and other Muslims.
Oh, okay.
So that's basically what the letter
So
lays
he's got
out.
conditions.
Yeah,
That's good.
So there's a lot of fluff. I really try to address all the actual points. A lot of times he sort of not repeats the point, but like elaborates unnecessarily for our purposes. So I skip some of that
It's
stuff.
not a well-written letter either.
Well, it's
Everyone's giving him credit. It's like, oh, wow, he's smarter than I thought he would be. Not really.
How not smart do you expect a terrorist to be?
This
too?
is
Yeah.
the thing. It's like the two things that really I think attach people to like shit like this or Mein Kampf or Ted Kaczynski is that they're immediately surprised that their very low expectations are leapt over. You know what I mean? That the insane person wasn't just like
Yeah, I think they're expecting movie villain crazy, and it's just not.
oh, a human being's talking. Who fucking knew?
Yeah, right. No, it's like it's not always just like they were born evil incarnate. They become that over time, and along the way, they learn how to guess what, read and write.
I also watched some of these TikToks of people reacting. And it's like, is this the first time you've ever read anything?
Anything.
Yeah.
And this is the first time they didn't pay attention in history class. But
No.
they're reading Osama bin Laden letter, and all of a sudden this history's very interesting.
And also with Israel and Palestine, every person starts with like 1948, as if that is when this all started.
yeah, and Israel and Palestine is a humongous part of this. Probably the thing he mentions the most, and it's what he leads off with. But
So
the
that's
other,
really the point they stick to is like,
It's-
oh, wow, look, bin Laden was pro-Palestine this whole time.
Get out.
weird.
No way.
Yeah.
But not really.
I mean, it's more just in a broad situation he is. But the other thing too, though, that I think people why they latch onto these things is basically it's just like, well, I don't know, they must know something. They're famous, like pretty much. I don't think I can't separate it that much.
Wait,
from,
like Osama bin Laden's famous?
Yeah.
Oh, because they've heard of him?
yeah,
Oh man, that's the bar.
yes, of course that's the bar.
They don't know the difference between fame and infamy, huh?
No, they don't know the difference between anything.
I don't know. Can you name the shoe bomber?
Richard Reed.
There you go. But I bet a lot of people can't.
I don't even
And he's
remember.
affected our lives, I think, more than bin Laden.
I disagree on that, but
That's a compounding effect on what
there is no Richard Reed
Osama
without
did.
bin Laden.
Yeah.
No, I think he was Al Qaeda.
Perhaps. But also, I got to take my shoes off every time I go to the airport.
Which is dumb. Okay, fuck it. I'm doing it now. The TSA is the largest jobs program in the history of the country. I hate it.
What about Clear? A private institution
Why is that a
takes
thing?
your fingerprints, your
Man.
retina, and then they're also not in every airport.
No.
They're like, trust us, bro. Maybe you pay us, we got you. And then you go, and most of these airports don't even have Clear.
No, I mean, why wouldn't you just get pre-check? TSA's everywhere. Like, that's the one you should get.
And also, why are we trusting a private company to be security?
Well, I mean, lots of people do that. But at the end of the day, though, like, TSA, the failure rates, just look at them.
They have 47,000 employees.
Yeah, they
Oh.
make minimum wage, Jake. What do you want from them?
I'm not saying I don't like those people.
You can. It's fine.
No, I get why it exists to an extent, but I also think it's performing theater. It's like safety theater.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it's a slow.
Oh, no, I brought more than 3 ounces of face wash. I guess I'll have to throw it out.
Also, like, no one's doing the plane thing anymore. They're just going to go buy a gun and do a mass shooting.
Yeah.
Or rent a truck and slam into a fucking...
I will say there was a period though where we did need to up the security a little bit because in this country we had a hilarious amount of plane hijackings
Yeah.
for a while.
That was,
Check it out. You know who's going to do most of the plane stuff now? Pilots.
yeah.
Yeah.
Our own.
Yeah.
Because they're not getting paid enough and they're working too many hours.
They're just going to go insane.
They are.
There was a pilot that bet this guy he could land his plane without the help gear. This is a while back. I don't even know if it was in this country, but he's like, yeah, I bet I could do it without the auto instruments and like without my instruments on the plane. Like I can do it blind basically and just land it. And he killed everybody.
Perfect.
Yeah. Just remember, it's a person flying the plane too.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into this letter because it's wordy.
Okay.
First, he continues. I'm quoting the letter directly every time I read it. All right. Again, it starts with some fluff. He quotes the Quran, whatever. Don't need this.
Yeah, protect yourself at all costs, Rob.
Yeah. He asks, why are we fighting and opposing you? What are we calling you to, and what do we want from you? As for the first question, why are we fighting and opposing you? The answer is very simple. Because you attacked us and continue to attack us. So he's referencing all Muslims there. He's, you know, in here, there, everywhere.
The collective us.
Yeah. A, you attacked us in Palestine. Palestine, which has sunk under military occupation for more than 80 years.
So this is how it starts.
This is how the letter starts. This is literally how it starts. After, like I said, about 2 paragraphs.
They do not read past this.
I don't think they do.
I think they read the first sentence and they're like, all right, good
Well-
enough with it by me.
Will it? Even just reading the second sentence, maybe should have thrown up some red flags. But it's funny that he's like, it's been under military occupation for 80 years. It's been under military occupation for 2,000 fucking years.
Yeah.
Yeah, forever.
You
Even when
just
it
don't
was-
mind. You didn't mind that 1,000-year window when it was other Muslims
Right.
having the military occupation.
Or pre-Islam.
He didn't care about that, obviously. But he didn't care if it's the Ottomans
Because Judaism's been there since like 1300 BC.
longer.
Longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Islam's about 600.
Mid 600s, and it didn't get to Palestine until early 8th century.
Okay.
Something like that. Certainly didn't take over Palestine until the 8th century, I think. Maybe late 7th. Anyway, he says, the British handed over Palestine with your help and your support to the Jews. Didn't take long to blame the Jews. Didn't take long to bring the Jews up. That's sentence number 2. Feel like there should be red flags there, but what the fuck do I know?
Does he say the word Jews or
Yes,
Jewish?
Jews. Jews. Although Jews is, I guess, the plural. It's just like Jake, you've said this before. Jew isn't a problematic word. It just depends
the
how you
tone.
say it.
It's
Yeah.
the inflection.
tone.
It's just like Mexican. Like, because if someone says like, "Oh, that nice Mexican man," like,
Yeah.
no one's mad at that, but it's like that Mexican.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Okay, well, hold on, buddy."
Whoa.
Yeah. It's tone.
It's kind of like that Bill Burr joke.
Which
where-
one?
It's where you put the fucking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like this black motherfucker or
This fucking
this
Asian.
fucking black.
Yeah.
Like 2 different connotations.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and he goes on to say, who have occupied it for more than 50 years, years overflowing with oppression, tyranny, crimes, killing, expulsion, destruction, and devastation. Which is just funny to me because he doesn't have a problem when anyone who was non-Muslim was oppressed in Palestine under the Ottomans. You literally had to pay a tax. It was an actual apartheid state. You
Yeah.
were a literal second-class citizen under a caliphate or the Ottomans when the Muslims ruled it, if you weren't Muslim. That's why a lot of people converted. So, like, they say, convert. It was all converted by the sword, Islam. But a lot of it was basically people being like, I mean, I'd like to keep my rights.
You know, it'd be really chill if I had all my money.
Yeah, and my rights and everything.
Yeah,
so.
Muhammad wasn't necessarily a Jesus figure where he's just going town to town giving fish out.
No.
Not quite. No. What's funny too, by the way, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, yeah, okay, well, Ottoman Empire, the Caliphate's like that was like a long fucking time ago. Everyone asked like that. The shit was happening all the way up to World War I.
Caliphate
so
was
that's
way
during
before the Ottoman Empire as well.
Yeah. But I'm saying, the Ottoman Empire and their apartheid state, whatever you want to call it, with the taxing and the Jews and Christians and everyone being second-class citizens, that was happening up to the end of World War I. So at the same time as Jim Crow in America, there was Jim Crow for Jews and Christians or whatever in Palestine. So it's like, yeah, you take that really specific cutoff date, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
fucking sweet.
It's pretty easy to say whatever you want to help your own cause.
Yeah, and that's all this letter does.
Yeah, it's all about
like
framing,
this.
Rob.
This letter,
Frame your argument how you want, so it comes off better. We're doing it right now too.
And can I tell you how little research I had to do on this to like it took it? I did very little Googling because just out of my own brain, just out of my own like cursory knowledge of history trivia, I was just like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, it's kind of weird too. Well, the people that are reading it, it's like, do you just take it all as like, does everything you see? Wait, do you believe everything you see on the internet?
Well, yeah, if it goes counter to the narrative America has put out over the last couple hundred years.
Couple hundred, like 30?
50, post World War II, basically.
Whatever narrative we've put out the last couple decades. If it's the counter narrative to that, then it's got to be gospel.
It's sick. Yeah, exactly. They're just like, you're just hearing the opposite. Like, it's just someone walks in and they're like, what about?
Well, it's crazy because it's like the same thing as like, oh, like everyone is a pedophile. That, that's true. Everyone that's powerful probably fucks kids. Like, that's that same leap in logic to me.
It's almost like left has their own version of Q.
Yeah, no, of course. Like, it's just, it's the other side.
It's not like it's just like Google's free, but you don't want to read it. You don't want to do any research. And like,
why would you read more if it supports your case?
Do your own research.
Do your own well, do any research. Doing your own is better than not doing any, I guess. And I guess, although technically watching a video about this and being is doing your own research.
Isn't research always your own?
Yes, kind of. I mean, you pick and choose what you want.
It depends. Some of my episodes, I just have like the computer do it for me.
Give me a cool thing to talk about today.
On the Patreon, when we do the game show, sometimes I have AI write the questions. And that's
I'm
why
aware.
It's nonsensical. Certainly not myself. I'm a very intelligent man. I make no mistakes.
But I feel like I see this a lot now where it's like people read something and they're like, because it made a point. Like all papers and things and, I guess theses and, statements like this or letters have a point they're trying to make.
Yeah.
Just because they argue for a point doesn't mean you have to believe it.
I think
Jake.
the best rule,
Shit, wait, stop.
The rule
Stop
of
what I'm trying to
thumb
do.
I try to read news by, and more so news than history, but both really, but is if it's exciting to me in like a positive way or it makes me angry, I try to discard it, and if it bores me, I assume that's the truth.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Like if I'm
objective
just, like,
news
if
is
I'm like
boring.
getting sleepy while I'm reading it, I'm like
even this
is all
episode
true.
right now that you're listening to, like, we all agree, so it has to be the truth.
yes.
Well,
I just hope I'm boring you because then I know it's real.
to tack onto that though, the best thing I ever learned in my mass media classes was if a headline starts with a question, the answer is no. Does like Israel want all the Palestinians dead? If it starts with a question, the answer is no.
That's what I want to title this episode, by the way. Did Bin Laden have a point? No.
Just like the Ted Kaczynski one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This Ted Kaczynski, especially the next part. This is kind of funny. He starts dunking on. He gets a little sassy, I guess you could say here. It brings us both laughter and tears to see that you have not yet tired of repeating your fabricated lies that the Jews have a historical right to Palestine as it was promised to them in the Torah. Anyone who disputes with them on this alleged fact is accused of anti-Semitism. Now, I don't think you're an anti-Semite if you don't think Jewish people have a claim to land in Palestine. I just think you're fucking dumb. Now, if you say there's a competing claim from the Palestinians, I agree with that. I think they both have claims. But if you think the Jews don't have a claim, you're essentially literally not just anti-historical, like you're anti-science. Like there's DNA and archaeology that straight up proves they've been there for time immemorial.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like that's the claim thing, right? Is the red herring. of it all.
Yeah.
No one has a claim on it. Like there's a million claims. No one deserves it.
You know who has
give it back to
claim
Turkey.
to it or has the right to it? Somebody that takes it by force.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's how
just
it's worked.
the world, man. I'm
That's,
sorry.
That's just how it worked.
I do like that the line of thinking though that they're just like a lot of people are like will acknowledge they'll be like, yeah, okay, well the Jews are from there, but like they lost it so long ago, like, and then they moved there, and like it's kind of like they've been gone a while. I like that's I feel like that's how a lot of people think. Like it's like you need to move on, like they've been gone from there. I want to ask those people and just be like, and again, I think that Palestinians have a claim to. I'm basically pro two-state solution, but
same. But
yeah.
but
and I can
anyways,
also acknowledge that what the Israel did in the 40s and 50s was
is
like
very
fucked
wrong.
up.
Yeah, yeah.
Very wrong. Yeah.
100%. But it's funny to me though that logic where it's like, well, it was so long ago, like, it was kind of like need to move on. Like, does that mean in 1500 years the Cherokee have to shut the fuck up? Like, sorry, bro, statute of limitations passed.
Yeah. You were here a long time ago. Now
It's too late.
Dude,
too
I
late.
think they should shut the fuck up right now.
no,
But
but
it's funny that the statute of limitations is, I guess, whatever they claim. It's not with the native. Like 500 years, they still have a right. They still have a claim or whatever. 300 years, but
God, you can even get into like the whole how Hamas got elected thing too, where it's like Hamas just fucking lied through their teeth the entire campaign. They're like, hey, we're really chill.
Man, they were funded by Israel. Against the PLO because they thought it would be easier to have extremists
yeah.
in Gaza.
It's like, oh, if we have people bombing us, it gives us a right to solidify power. Like, it's all just bad governance.
let me just put it this way. It pisses me off a lot. It's never worked in history. This is a historical point here. It's never worked in history. And if you have this in your mind that it might work in the near future, go fuck yourself. Accelerationism never works.
What is accelerationism?
Just let something get so bad that people will come crawling to your side.
Oh yeah, no. It makes it way worse. Yeah.
It is the dumbest fucking shit. Anyway, moving on. This is one of the most fallacious, widely circulated fabrications in history. The people of Palestine are pure Arabs and the original Semites, which, by the way, this is just a Kyrie Irving interview at this point. It is the Muslims who are the inheritors of Moses, peace be upon him. Put that in parentheses. He's like, Moses, peace be upon him.
Prophet.
Yep. And the inheritors of the real Torah that has not been changed. Muslims believe in all of the prophets, including Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon them all.
You can also be Jewish and Arab.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, he is right that the first people in Palestine were, they came from Mesopotamia in 10,000 BC.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came to Palestine, set up shop there, and created Judaism at some point, along with a bunch of other religions. In fact, Judaism, I think, started out polytheistic.
We'll have to get into that one. I don't want to say yes on it, but probably.
Yeah. But then it like kind of centered on one god.
Yeah, they were like, that one.
El, I think is what they call him, something like that. It's interesting. Anyway, those people moved there from Mesopotamia when Neolithic time, 10,000 BC, around Karahan Tepe time, and made that culture.
would life be better if we just worship dicks?
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you mean? We
I
do.
think so.
Yes.
Life's great.
Yes.
What are you talking into right now? It's a dick that records your voice, bro.
Oh no.
Yeah. Think about that.
Huh.
Yeah. Maybe that's just a me thing. I don't know. All mics look like dicks.
This would be a horrible dick to take.
It would. They're fat. These ones are fat.
Yeah.
But like old school mics, a little bleep, bleep.
Yeah,
Those?
a literal penis.
Yeah.
Even with the circle around, or the ring around the, it's like a head almost. Anyway, if the followers of Moses have been promised a right to Palestine in the Torah, then the Muslims are the most worthy nation of this. So they're the real Jews. Actually, again, it's a Kyrie Irving interview.
Why is everyone trying to everyone hates the Jews, but everyone's like, we're the real ones.
We're the Jews.
We are the ones. When the Muslims conquered Palestine and drove out the Romans, love that he calls them the Romans. It's the Eastern Roman Empire. As far as this part goes, I love that. That is the most historically accurate part of this whole thing. Call them the Romans. Don't call them the Byzantines, you bitch.
Where was he educated? Was it Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, at a university in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
He did go to college. Palestine and Jerusalem returned to Islam, the religion of all the prophets, peace be upon them. Therefore, the call to a historical right to Palestine cannot be raised against the Islamic Ummah, that means community, that believes in all prophets of Allah, peace and blessings be upon them, and we make no distinction between them. So basically, After Muslims conquered Palestine for the first time, stop the count, baby.
No, it's all stopping the count.
Stop the count.
It's always stop the count.
Stop the fucking count. He then lists a series of like semi-founded complaints that the West is fighting Muslims in different places around the world, like Somalia. Never mind that, there was a psychotic Muslim warlord killing other Muslims there with famine.
Yeah. No, I mean, like.
But he was, just let him do his thing.
Also, before bin Laden got involved with Afghanistan, wasn't he trying to start a war with Yemen?
Probably. I mean, this dude was just looking for wars. He was just looking for...
He was just bored, man. He had all the money in the world. He's just, a trust fund kid, needs to find purpose in his life, decides
You have the resources. It's like, why not?
Yeah.
Holy war.
Yeah, you got connections. You can just like go to your really conservative uncle and be like, hey, I'm going to do a jihad. You want to get in on that?
Yeah.
Fund that shit?
Yeah, dog.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, I mean, like, why hoop when you can play the greatest game? War.
He is in the game.
It's the game. It's the biggest game. War, like, the more I learn about war, the more I'm like, it's just a big fucking game. Like, it's a terrible, awful thing, but it is a game.
The earth is flat. It's a risk board.
Start in Australia. Yeah.
But why is he mad that we're fighting against Muslims? Well, he explains.
Did we not provide enough weapons in Afghanistan against the Russians?
Oh, he goes into that later about how he's like, we'll throw you out the same way we threw the Soviets out of Afghanistan. It's
Yeah,
like, we threw the
did that.
Soviets out of Afghanistan. Buddy, if we didn't send you fucking rockets, they would still be there.
Charlie Wilson's War. Great flick.
Yeah, because the Soviets, unlike the British, so ancient times, I don't know, hard to conquer certainly, but when the British went to Afghanistan, I'm sure they committed some atrocities or whatever, but definitely went in there with a fairly light hand, all things considered. The U.S. went in there with a very light hand, certainly historically. The Soviets, they were doing what Russia's doing in Ukraine now, like just slaughtering motherfuckers. They were putting them down.
But you can't take Afghanistan. It's
I
the
think-
unconquerable land.
I think if we didn't give weapons to the resistance, the Soviets would have been fine.
Would have waited them out.
They were just doing the only thing you can do in a country like that.
I'm just saying, historically, Afghanistan has
I agree.
withstood everything.
You can hold it. It's just really fucking hard to hold, and you give up
You have
after
to,
a while.
and you have to.
You also don't want it.
No,
after
that's
a
the
while.
thing. It's like,
like they were
Like,
just
I'm
fuck
okay.
this.
Yeah, it's certainly. So, why is he mad that we're fighting against Muslim? These governments prevent our people from establishing the Islamic Sharia, using violence and lies to do so. So he's mad that we're fighting Muslims because it's stopping them
from doing
Spreading
from
Sharia law.
colonizing the entire world and making everyone live under Muslim law.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, man, you can't colonize shit. That's my fucking job.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's truly just like exceptionalism.
Check it
In a
out,
way.
though. Sharia law, some good aspects about it.
Which ones?
Women getting lippy.
What?
Kidding.
Okay.
Just
Thank
trying to
God.
have fun here, guys.
No,
Come on.
no fun.
Let's have some jokes.
No jokes. Only Osama letter.
Yeah.
Only Osama
It's a
letter.
very special episode of
Yeah.
Psycho History.
No.
But it's just fun. It's just like, who got to this part and was just like, oh, well, that part's,
Yeah.
oh, well, that,
Actually, I'm still flabbergasted that the like auth-right isn't more into Sharia law.
I know.
Do you think they would
No,
fucking
yeah,
love it?
Muslims and the alt-right should connect.
It's a
Auth-right.
horseshoe. Auth-right. Authoritarian,
Auth-right.
right? Yeah.
Authoritarian right, the principled hyper-religious right wing of the conservative sect, like
Yeah, what
they
are they-
love that shit.
And also, I feel like Republicans should be more pro-immigration when it comes to Hispanics because they're all conservative.
Get those Catholics in there.
Those Catholics, baby.
Yeah. Which, anyone in America 100 years ago would have been like, whoa, what? More of them? Disgusting.
Stop it.
Irish, Italians, it's enough. So he says, these governments give us a taste of humiliation and places us in a large prison of fear and subdual, which, I mean, it sounds like Saudi Arabia does that, and they are a Muslim government. Like, they're doing it right. Right?
They're getting more modern.
Now.
I think we talked about it on the Patreon.
Yeah.
We did.
MBS has to walk this fine line of trying to get more westernized, but also appeasing his very
The
conservative
Looney Tunes. Yeah.
loonies in his kingdom.
Yeah. So he goes on to say,
trying to fix his country and make it kind of digestible to do business with his country
you just got to make sure the checks keep clearing.
Yeah.
without getting beheaded.
It's
Yeah.
international trade benefits, but you can't get all the good trade benefits because then you'll die.
He's like, all right, we're going to buy this golf league, and we're going to try to do business with some weapon manufacturers over in America. But to appease my homies, we'll put down a couple gays.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, it's, again, just like the, see?
Yeah.
We're still we're still doing the thing the old way.
Still doing all the stuff you like.
Yeah, we're
Like,
playing
all
the
right,
hits.
We'll let women ride bicycles. But yeah, kill 100 people.
It's like an encore, right? Where it's like a band comes out and plays all the new shit, and you're like, oh, fucking A. And then like they leave for a minute and they come back, and it's like, and we're doing the things you wanted to hear. Here's the fucking
Sometimes you gotta
beheading.
play the hits, yeah.
Gotta play
Yeah.
the hits. He also
Can't just do B tracks.
no. He also says these governments steal our wealth and sell them to you at a paltry price. So he thinks that they're not getting enough money for gas.
He's
Which
probably
is
right.
the only thing. How could he possibly?
I don't know.
It's the only thing that I swear to God, like half of every presidential election is just like the gas.
I guess that's the big thing right now with
Too expensive.
with Gaza is there is a shit ton of gas and natural gas underneath that they found recently. I guess like they didn't know already.
Cool. Give them mining equipment. Let them make money. Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, they're digging enough tunnels.
Yeah, I know,
they'd
right?
hit
They're
oil.
gonna fucking hit one of those things.
Sick.
These governments have surrendered to the Jews, so more Jew stuff.
Yeah.
So on and so forth.
Classic.
Handed them Palestine. Let's get to the next part. The removal of these governments is an obligation upon us, a necessary step to free our community, to make the Sharia the supreme law and regain Palestine. And our fight against these governments is not separate from our fight against you. So he wants to throw the governments over. He thinks that even other Muslim governments are in bed with the Jews. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, blah, 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 blah.
So
blah,
bend
blah.
the knee.
Yeah, bend the knee to me. He's like, hey, I'm the guy. We're the guys.
Yeah. You can't do that. I'm supposed to do that. It's classic.
What point are you at this point in the letter and you're like, wow,
He's got a point.
Jews. Wow. Huh. I always did think Danny Goldstein was weird.
Yeah.
Like that guy in my sophomore gym class.
Yeah.
Fucking morons. Yeah, he complains more about oil being stolen or not getting paid enough for.
We do that though in the Middle East right now, where we just kind of set up shop, and that's why we keep getting attacked by drones. They keep sending over drone attacks. Iran is
Oh, on our bases or
on our
whatever.
bases that
Yeah,
are
the
on
suicide
oil
drones.
fields, yeah.
Do they? Yeah, they hit oil fields a lot of times.
Uh-huh.
But like that's are we getting a better deal than we should be? Doesn't feel like it.
Man,
Not really.
you know what? People are like, we need to stop going places for oil. It's like, oh, should we get our oil here at home? No, no,
can.
no.
Well,
Well,
actually-
keep shutting the pipelines down.
It's like natural resources are a very intricate part of socio-political movement, and if you don't want them from there, you got to get them somewhere else.
Again, I've
Like,
said it for years. We need to take Canada.
Yes,
That needs to be our own
That's
personal
fine.
pipeline.
yeah, it's past time. Well past time.
Invade now.
I think half of them would be down.
I think a lot of them.
The real hockey fans would be.
Yeah.
You guys want a real Air Force?
They don't have one. Every Calgary Flames fan, every Edmonton Oilers fan.
Yeah.
Oh, anybody that's an NHL fan, they'd be like, we're cursed. We need to join America so we can win a
It's
cup.
true. The Canadians can't win a cup. Honestly, there's probably all of Saskatchewan would probably be like, yeah, we'll join America
Solely for the cup.
if my Flames win the cup or wherever the fuck.
We'll make a deal. We'll take some of the CFL teams, I guess.
We don't even need all of Canada, actually. If you just want the oil and stuff, you want the western part.
Does Winnipeg have a team?
The
Jets.
Yeah.
They'd
They're back.
definitely join.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're down.
That's a city of tunnels as well, because winter there is literally like living on the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that. He then complains about how we have military bases all over the Middle East, and it's to protect the security of
The Jews?
Jews. Yeah,
Oh,
Jews.
cool, yeah.
So
Really on a
The-
soapbox about these people.
I
Yeah.
swear to God, if you command F Jews in this document, the computer crashes.
this
so
is
you
why
get the
people like the
pinwheel?
letter so much.
Yeah, you just get a pinwheel. We command F
Oh,
Jews.
damn it.
By the way, we have had bases in the Middle East since basically the end of World War II. All of them are from agreements we made with the various governments, although he thinks those governments are in bed with Jews, so he doesn't really find those documents very compelling.
Yeah, well, it's your like perfect out.
He then complains about sanctions we have on Iraq, or had on Iraq, on Saddam's Iraq, after they invaded Kuwait and killed a bunch of
Kurds,
Muslims.
We
did kill a bunch of Kurds too,
Yeah,
but
and
they're
Kurds.
Muslims also.
Yeah,
And guess who kind of led the charge on that?
Saudi Arabia?
A lot of Palestinians that like fled to Kuwait.
Oh, they were down. They wanted Saddam to invade Iraq. That's why they all got expelled.
Yeah.
No one remembers that?
A lot of
300,000
times,
people displaced over fucking night from Kuwait.
So that's why like a lot of these Arab nations aren't willing to take Palestinians, because in the past they have, and they've caused a lot of trouble.
where they displace other people.
Yeah.
Weird.
Or they killed a Jordanian politician, I forget who, assassinated him, and then obviously they were basically collaborators with Saddam when he invaded Kuwait. So Kuwait kicked out 300,000 Palestinians. That is a monstrous overnight.
That was an inside job, a literal inside job in Kuwait.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, like look at what the French and like Dutch and shit did to Nazi collaborators after they were liberated.
Oh yeah.
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 It's like that. It was that type of situation.
Yeah. You're lucky if you're getting your head shaved.
So he had sanctions on, the country had sanctions on it because it was killing other Muslims. Now, were there other geopolitical reasons that were less moral? I'm sure. But yeah, that all happened partly because of that. This is one of my favorite parts. Under the protections of your weapons, Sharon, he's referring to Ariel Sharon, the former leader of Israel, entered the Al-Aqsa Mosque to pollute it as a preparation to capture and destroy it. So he's like, you let a Jew into a mosque and he made it dirty.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting to the point, the bigger point, which is like, empire doesn't come without moral bending.
Also, just call them rats.
At this
Just
point,
call them rats. Bin Laden.
at
Come
this
on.
point, what do you...
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you're making me, it's like the Louis C.K. bit, right? Like, you're making me say it.
Yeah.
You're making me think it.
Jake, you're vermin. According to Bin Laden, though.
According to
Yeah.
of him, yes. Speaking of Louis C.K., he has a great episode of the Louis Show where I think he's like tripping or he's high as shit, and he like sees Osama bin Laden in the desert, and Osama's like, we're closer to the heat and it's intolerable here, so we're closer to God, and everyone needs to know that we're right because we're closer to God. Like, that's why we do this. It's not because, whatever. It's kind of like a really quick summarization of this letter.
You're right.
He's like, no, I think that just makes you an asshole. Like, I think you're just an asshole who wants his way.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, we're closer to God.
Oh, funny you should mention that.
Yeah, he also wasn't living in caves. He had compounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was for a little bit in Cape Town. But anyway, funny you should mention that.
Kinda.
Because his next part is, these tragedies and calamities are only a few examples of your oppression and aggression against us, which just sort of reminds me, like, he's only mad about our oppression and aggression. So to paraphrase a quote from Animal House, hey, he's basically just like, hey, you can't do that to our people. Only we can do that to our people.
Right.
Which, fair enough.
Yeah. You can't haze our pledges.
Yeah, only we can do that to our pledges.
That's a point I kind of understand, though. It's like, as a Philly sports fan, you're not allowed to talk shit about us, but we can talk shit all day.
Oh, I mean, I think that's any sports fan. Like, I will just go off on the Gators, but the second someone else starts, it's like, hey, listen, buddy, you don't even know us enough to do that.
Yeah. And then I suicide bomb them.
Yeah. Then I poison their trees.
Is that you?
No.
Yeah.
I don't care enough about Auburn.
All right, Harvey.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. He goes on to say, it is commanded by our religion and intellect, which that's got to be lost in translation, or like a weird translation, and intellect, that the oppressed have a right to return the aggression. Do not await anything from us but jihad, resistance, and revenge. So he goes on, kind of repeats himself with that. But, like, fair enough. You feel wronged. I'm not saying you're right, but you feel wronged and you want to fight back. But, okay, but now you're just doing war? So why are you getting all huffy and incredulous when you get bombs back at you?
No, it's literally just like, oh, only we should be able to do it, and if it's done to us, like, that's awful. But if we do it back, that's because we're right.
I agree. When I'm in a fist fight, if you throw a punch at me, that's uncalled for. But
You're
if
a dick.
I'm allowed to just use you as kind of like a sparring partner.
Yeah.
Right.
allowed
He's
to
a
just
dummy.
literally turn you into soup. But you,
Whoa, hey.
what the fuck, man?
I mean, an American political version of this would be anytime there's a fucking dead Supreme Court justice or a resigning one.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't do this.
That's the rule.
Yeah, but it's literally everyone's going to try and shoe in their dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Or
woman.
filibuster or whatever,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We need more seats.
So he then goes on. We're at the next main point. He has points and subpoints. It's fucking crazy how long and stupid this letter is. You may then dispute that all of the above does not justify aggression against civilians for crimes they did not commit and offenses in which they did not partake. Let me translate that. But let me explain why killing civilians is actually chill if I do it.
It's weird.
And
Collective punishment is what? What is it again? Oh, it's a war crime.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Weird.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that. And again, Israel in the current state, like, you shouldn't do collective punishment to Gaza. That is a war crime.
Yeah.
Like, that you can't do that. That is fucked up. So I don't think anyone's like very much like, oh, we don't care what Israel. There are people that are like that, but anyway.
But this is one of the parts where these fucking idiots are like,
insane.
yeah, man, resistance at any cost. Which, like, I swear every person I see say that, and I'm not a hard ass by any means, but I feel like I'm very realistic about the fact that I would puke and cry if I was put on the ground there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In front of the resistance. As would they. And they were like, and then, like, these same people that are just, like, the softest people you've ever met, like, get their feelings hurt, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he goes, this argument contradicts your continuous repetition that America is the land of freedom and its leaders in this world. Therefore, the American people are the ones who choose their government by way of their own free will, a choice which stems from their agreement to its policies. Which, who's the government in Gaza?
Oh, shit.
Who got elected in Gaza?
Do
you really want to roll with that logic? Because I don't. I don't think you should roll with that logic.
No, you shouldn't. But
Do we really want to open up the books, too, of what they spend their money on?
no,
No,
you
we
don't. But also, again, if you ever go back and watch the Hamas versus Fatah like campaign videos,
Yeah.
Hamas is like, no, we're super chill now. Like, we are peaceful and we're trying to just make peace. And because Fatah had a lot of corruption issues at the time.
Yeah.
So, like, Hamas saw their shot.
They were kind of the only ones in power.
Well,
Like
yeah.
a uniparty.
Yeah, you got to rebrand sometimes.
Well, Fatah was in power. Hamas was, like, very, very small. But, like,
but I mean, look at Al Qaeda right now. They got rollerblades, and now they're fun and flirty.
They're having a good time.
great on Twitter.
Really good time.
Yeah.
Is it Al Qaeda or Taliban?
Oh, wait.
Oh, it might be the Taliban.
Yeah, I would. Well, yeah, I mean, how are we supposed to remember all the things, right?
Who cares?
Whoever's in charge of Afghanistan.
But yeah,
Taliban.
Fatah super corrupt.
Yeah.
So Hamas was like, "Oh shit, we're super cool now. We're chill, and we're not corrupt." And that's how everyone's like, "Well, fuck, we don't want to vote for fucking corrupt government still." Like when it's very
You
openly
just get so
corrupt.
tired of Fatah. Was Hamas like kind of like their Trump a little bit? It's just like, let's bring in an outsider.
Not even that. No,
Okay.
they were. I mean, people are aware. Like Hamas was a resistance movement, but they were rebranding. They rebranded as the election came up, so that they could go against Fatah and win.
And they all live in
ran a hell of a
Qatar.
campaign.
No, I mean, you can go watch the things. They're like, we are not going to do all that violence anymore.
They all live in Qatar. That dude that looks like he just came back from church at Ash Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How do we not take those dudes out?
Because they're in Qatar. We actually also have a lot of military bases in Qatar, or maybe just like one big one. We have a lot of troops in Qatar. But like, yeah. So I thought this was interesting too, though, because look, obviously America has not only killed civilians in wars, but targeted civilians in wars. Like in World War II, right? Bombings killed a lot of civilians. Now, granted, we didn't have the technology to do it any other way.
Dresden came back stronger.
They did. It's a beautiful city now. But like,
They actually rebuilt things 20 years ago, 30 years ago to look older.
Yeah.
that's what you should do.
You should.
Modern
should
architecture is ass.
It really is.
It-
You got to embrace just those like
I would say retail architecture is ass.
Renaissance era
Yeah.
architecture.
There's plenty of good architecture out there that is modern. It's the 5-on-1. Hey, a bunch of apartments on top of a fucking Cabo Bobs. That's the problem.
I'd be okay with it if it was Gothic.
I think you need to stop low-key defending your wife and agree with us that she is ruining our culture architecturally, one building at a time.
And again, agree.
I want to see.
Catholics got it right.
What, church-wise?
Just
Dude,
all
when I walk
architecture.
into a modern Catholic church, I just want to fucking rip it down.
I would mean for the space of religion, when you're trying to shout back to the echoes of antiquity, it should be old looking.
Yes.
Yeah,
Should be old
you
as
should be
fuck.
bridging
You
the
should be
history
scared.
there.
Yeah.
should be
That's
scared
why
to be there.
I respect the Catholics and honestly respect the Muslims. Mosques, I get annoyed when I see a modern-looking mosque. Like, I want a dome. I want it to look sick. A lot of mosques are like A+, no pun intended, god-tier architecture.
Just turquoise dome.
But you see a lot in America, actually, that are, like, pretty lame-looking.
I imagine they're not trying to build big, giant.
No, they're
hey,
big.
Well,
There's one in Round Rock, I think, that's, like, pretty big.
I rather obviously different from the other buildings because they don't want the
Smoke.
Yeah,
Weren't they trying to build one on Ground Zero?
dude.
Wasn't that a thing?
Ugh.
Over Santa's bones.
I kind of respect that, though.
Y-
Like, double down.
yeah, that's sick.
That's just, Baker Mayfield planting the flag at the 50.
Yeah.
Truly.
But look, when we bombed civilians in World War II, A, we didn't have the technology to not do basically carpet bombing. But B, and more importantly, civilians weren't our primary target.
Right. We were trying to
It's
get other.
collateral damage.
We were
but-
mostly
We
no,
know.
but like
We
in
still
general
know,
though, we were
Rob.
fighting the military first. We were trying to break the will of the civilians, but at that point we were in a total war, basically a war. That end of war that we didn't start, which I guess Bin Laden could say that too. But the point is though, Bin Laden or any other terrorist goes out of their way to avoid the military and hit civilians. In World War II, our primary engagements were with the military. Secondary targets were civilian.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like World War II is a pretty hard one to argue against as far as like who's wrong or right in all of this.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't want to hear anything from the punch a Nazi.
I mean, if
crowd
you want to
about
get into like Vietnam, yeah, sure, we can talk about that.
asshole bombing campaign in
And-
Vietnam from the Americans for sure.
Again, and you can go into this as well, but like I think we all kind of agree with this. Like we're not judging a random Palestinian dude for the foreign policy actions of his government.
No.
Like, yeah, it's not happening
even
here.
if you voted for him.
And likewise, we don't think, hey, let's go kill all those civilians over there because Hamas is doing dickhead shit. Like, we don't agree with that either. Same way you shouldn't kill a bunch of us.
I will say, though, Berlin must have been, like, just easy mode.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
You're just fighting kids and women.
Oh,
boy,
yeah, at the
especially
end.
after like you're in the war for 3 years. You're in Stalingrad and
you
shit.
finally get to the main hub. You're like, all right, we're finally taking down Germany.
The 10-year-old shoots you in the neck.
Can you imagine getting got? Like, getting got
By Jojo
at
Rabbit.
the end. Like, that's the last level, right?
Yeah, his little fat friend just pops out.
Be like, I fucking lost the game on the easiest mode.
Yeah.
What is a
What is the tutorial mode almost?
Yeah, I know, right? And he just kind of goes on and on about why it's actually chill for him to kill civilians. I mean, I just cut out the rest of it because it was repetitive. But like, he's like, no, here's another reason I get to kill civilians. Here's another reason I get to kill civilians. Blah, 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 blah. He says, also, the American army is part of the American people. It is this very same people who are shamelessly helping the Jews fight against us. More Jew stuff. By the way, he really doesn't mention Israel that much.
Weird.
It's just Jew.
Doesn't recognize it.
I mean,
Not
yeah.
on his map.
He wouldn't call it Israel. To be
No.
that,
Yeah.
Dan actually makes a good point there.
Yeah,
It's
fair.
like China now, right? Didn't they take Israel off the map?
They did, which is interesting.
And also, they cleaned up the streets of San Francisco pretty quick.
Yeah.
China did?
No, we did.
Yeah.
When for Xi showing up. He also, the next part, I'm not even going to quote it because it's long, but he basically says, also, God told me I could do it, so it's chill.
Right. Yeah.
There's no flaws in that logic.
Yeah. No notes. 10 out of 10.
100%. I mean, look, lean into it. Lean into that at that point. I would respect it more if he was just like, that was it.
He kind of is, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you learned that you respect Osama bin Laden.
So,
Damn, you proved their point, man.
damn it. Now we get to the second part, which is, he's like, okay, so you want us to stop attacking. Here's what you have to do.
Convert.
Number 1, convert to Islam. Who? All of you. The entire world.
Join or die.
Just convert to Islam and we'll stop killing civilians.
What if everyone's like, okay?
Call it
And like everyone just like gets on a Zoom call. Like
Yeah,
8 billion
right.
people. All right. We're all Islamic now.
Everyone collectively goes to prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere is prison. He goes on to say how great and peaceful Islam is, like in terms of like the Quran and stuff like that, which fair enough. And then he drops this fun piece. He's just gassing up Islam about why it's the best religion, which is your religion, that's fine. I'm sure you believe that. But then he drops this fun piece. And it is the religion of unity and agreement on the obedience to Allah and total equality between all people regarding their color, sex, or language.
Not just what was sex? Yeah.
Yeah?
Is it?
Is it?
Sharia?
Everyone equal? Everyone got the same amount of rights?
I'm gonna call bullshit.
It feels inaccurate.
Does not seem accurate. No.
As someone who is a scholar on Islam,
Pretty sure Bin Laden also hated the blacks.
it wouldn't surprise me.
Wasn't a fan.
Oh, is that in a note or something?
Well,
Yeah, he wrote to me all the time.
You were just on AOL.
Wait till I bring
Like
out the letters he sent to me.
If it
AOL
wasn't-
keyword Osama.
If it wasn't for them, he would be hooping.
Oh yeah. Why do you think he didn't play basketball?
Dan actually radicalized him.
He didn't have the. It was. I think it was all an agility situation. Obviously, you know.
Yeah, I can't imagine he had great footwork.
No, does he look like he did?
Him
Also,
down
he's-
in the post.
He couldn't put on muscle.
No, he and he have to be a wing because 6'6" not big enough to be a big man.
Back
No.
then, though, maybe.
No, still not. Dude, Wilt or like
Yeah, true.
Bill
Kareem.
Russell, Kareem, yeah, they're giving him business.
Hey man, they
all
put
day.
Magic at the 5 in a game in the finals.
Yeah, but Magic was special.
He was.
He was Magic.
We'll get to Magic Johnson in a minute.
What?
He then. This is a point I actually respect the fuck out of. So props to Bin Laden on this one.
Clip it.
Yeah, clip it. Only that. End it all there.
Would probably do well.
Yeah, seriously. He's like, here's another reason Islam's the best. You guys have edited your books and rewritten your books over and over again. The Quran has remained the same since it was written. And I was like, you know what? As a Catholic who likes to tell other Christians that they're bullshit because we're the ones that Jesus...
The start.
Yeah, we're the start.
Genesis.
Yeah,
Respect.
yeah. King James Bible is kind of a little late to the game.
Yeah. So, all right, Bin Laden. I can't... You're using my own logic against me here.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
If that's all it takes, I mean, you know, the Torah is in Hebrew.
Nah, he says you guys kept changing it.
Probably.
I want to say I read that it was finalized in around the time when the Book of Kings was written, like 600s BC, maybe something like that.
If there was like 50 of us in one room trying to agree on something, getting a plurality was probably even hard.
I mean, that's what the Council of Nicaea was for Christianity, not Catholicism. Catholicism wasn't technically a thing yet, or whatever. Anyway, that was point number 1. Convert to Islam because it's the best. Number 2, stop being so fucking gay. The second thing we call you to is to stop your oppression, lies, immorality, and debauchery that has spread among you. We call you to be people of manners, principles, honor, and purity, to reject the immoral acts of fornication, homosexuality, intoxicants, gambling, and trading with interest.
Why gambling? God damn, dude.
Why?
Why'd you have to clip me, Bin Laden?
So he's like, quit butt fucking, quit playing the ponies,
Quit drinking.
and quit having a fucking 401k.
Quit having a 401k, and you better not drink.
Which I can get down with. Fuck 401ks. They're a
But
sham.
I love that it's just like the reason your society is trash is anal sex and 401ks.
401ks, yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, y'all are having too much fun over there.
Which
They're just
again,
jealous of our fun. That's it.
So in his head, capitalism is a 401k.
I guess
Trading with interest.
he talks about usury a lot,
Yeah.
which should surprise no one with all the
'Cause,
Jew talk.
Yeah, I was
Talk,
about to
yeah.
say, the trading with interest was
That's a direct
it was
shot.
a bit of a that was for one group
I'm
out of
surprised he didn't just say Jewry, but I guess he wanted to be specific.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the usury thing. Listen, I get it. I get why people don't like interest on loans, but it's how things work.
What do you?
You can't finance shit No one's going to be like, all right, here's $500 million to build this building.
Get it back to me.
Hope you do.
Yeah.
You got the gold bars?
Yeah.
The usury being illegal or whatever held back Europe so much for so fucking long.
Listen, ask Christians how
And
it
it
went.
holds down the middle class.
Yeah, it does. Ask Christians how it went. What do? They were like, hey, Jews,
Immediately.
come on.
Yeah.
We need financing right now.
Jesus Christ.
And again, that is all misinformation and propaganda spread by the Swiss.
Yes.
Absolutely.
As we determined, the Swiss put it all on the Jews so that we'd never think about their banking.
That's right. Turns out the Swiss were the Jews.
Are there slurs for Swiss?
Fondue head. I don't know. Like yodel.
Slurs.
They yodel, right?
I'm Googling slurs for people from Switzerland.
You wood clog.
You little
fondue.
Oh,
eating.
yeah, 15 derogatory terms for the Swiss.
Oh, let's get it. Something about cheese.
This is kind of just from an edgelord website. It's not really actually real.
Oh.
Snowback. That's funny.
Snowback. Come on.
Yeah.
Now you're what is it? You're
just stealing
co-opting
others.
other slurs here.
Calling them snow caps.
Snow
Like
caps
the
is good.
candy would be funny.
List of ethnic slurs. Man, awesome. This is from just Wikipedia. List of ethnic. Oh, it's a big page.
Wow, that's so big. Okay, come on.
Gummy halls.
Gummy hall. What is that?
Do they have like a bad gum to
Oh,
teeth ratio?
that's what they call German people. That's what the Swiss call German people.
Oh, so we got the reverse.
They don't even have any slurs against them.
Oh well, guys, guess what?
This is a fucking. That's
Little
a red.
neutral Nancy's over
That's a
here.
red
Neutral
flag,
Nancy.
Yeah,
Newts. Bunch
yeah.
of
We're gonna have to
newts.
think of some Swiss slurs.
It's hard to do
They get
because
a
there's
pass.
already.
No, I'm saying they get too much of a pass.
Oh, absolutely. The Nazi gold thing just totally never. Oh, we're neutral.
No, you're
Yeah,
not.
we make good
If you're
watches.
taking their money, you're not fucking neutral. Yeah. Anyway, so Bin Laden goes on to say, "It is saddening to tell you." So he's like, "I am sorry to inform you that you are the worst civilization witnessed by the history of mankind." So he's saying that America is the worst country that has ever existed. Now, why do you think? Why do you think he thinks that? Slavery? Taking Indians' lands? Gays?
I mean, I'm sure that doesn't help, but
No, it's probably something very obscure.
I was about to say, like, I'm trying to think of what it could be.
Farming practices?
Is it because
Crop rotation displeases Allah.
rotational farming? Yeah.
We eat pigs? I don't know.
Is it? Yeah. Is it the pork industry? Is it our whiskey distilling?
It's honestly funnier than that. You are the nation who, rather than ruling by the Sharia of Allah in its constitution and laws, chose to invent your own laws as you will and desire. You separate religion from your policies.
Oh, separation of church and state.
No, not that. Well, that, but more than that. That's a little zoom in. The more than that is that we wrote our own constitution.
Oh, right. We
We think we're better than God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we were like, hey, let's all get together. And by the way, these are a bunch of little atheist losers like sharing this on TikTok. And then this guy's like, fuck you for your own people creating a set of laws to live by together.
Yeah, I know. Super liberal people hate sovereignty and self-determination.
Right.
So yeah,
Perfect. Sister, he's
Yeah.
like, you can't write your own laws,
right.
bro.
Yeah, it's interesting that it's like people that had no idea about this this religion, probably. They probably knew of it, but didn't know the ins and outs of it.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
like, oh, well, they didn't come to the conclusion that they had to just do Sharia law. They wrote their own without consulting
Right.
the Quran. What? No, I mean, it's just,
But then you'd have like idiot, like right wing people being like, no, we consulted the Bible. No, we fucking didn't.
Yeah, there's plenty of people in this country that would adopt a Christian Sharia law.
A Christian, basically
Oh.
Leviticus, just
yeah, it'd be bad.
write down Leviticus and that's fine.
And that's what they always complain about with the evangelicals. Like, oh, it's going to end up like, what was that show? Fucking
Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's Tale.
That show sucked so much ass.
It's not good.
I
yeah.
fucking hate that show.
All I gotta say is, if any of you guys are wearing mixed fabrics right now, I'm gonna cut your fucking heads off. Don't look
I
at me.
actually ate a whole bag of shrimp, and it was a mixed fabric bag.
Oh
I
shit!
just put it on me like a feed bag, and we're just like, blah, 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 blah,
I actually
blah.
did have shrimp
Bacon
today.
wrap shrimp.
Bacon wraps.
Hell yeah,
I
bro.
flossed
Double
my
beheaded.
teeth today with silk.
Is
I think
that
that's
bad?
fine.
I don't know.
Silk's not a mixed fabric.
I think silk is in the Bible for something.
I'm sure it's in there somewhere.
It's anti-Asian propaganda.
Never, they never like.
Yeah, that's what they were going for.
700 BC.
Yeah, that's what they were thinking about.
Now this is where we get to. Oh, it's the best part of the letter.
Is it?
Oh, it's fucking.
Is it the
incredible.
grand finale?
This is a TIL for me today. I didn't know what he's about to reference existed. Maybe one of you did. I didn't. And it's hilarious. I'm going to read you the whole section, and then we're getting into almost a little side quest here on
good
the
side
history
quest.
I
episode.
hate me a side quest.
We
Stick to
actually-
the narrative.
Yeah, I want the main plot, main quest.
Okay, well, I mean, it
I
has to-
wanted to dump another 30 hours into a video game. I'm an adult.
yeah, you were like a bitch if you got like all 150 stars in Mario 64. Just go beat Bowser.
You can do that after.
Yeah,
Do it after.
go beat Bowser. Anyway, this is what he says. I'm sorry. First, he says, "You are the nation that permits usury." So again, Jew
Jew
stuff.
yeah.
Which has been forbidden by all the religions. Yet you build your economy and investments on usury. As a result of this, in all its different forms and guises, the Jews have taken control of your economy, through which they have taken control of your media and now control all aspects of your life, making you their servants and achieving their aims at your expense. Here's the money shot.
He's a 4chan, bro.
Here's the
Yeah.
money shot. Precisely what Benjamin Franklin warned you against.
Did he do that? Did he warn?
Funny you should ask. No.
Okay.
However, bin Laden is referencing something that is real called the Franklin Prophecy.
What is that?
It's also known to historians as the Franklin Forgery.
Oh,
Since
No.
it's definitely fake and did not even surface until 1934, when people were trying to make Nazism happen in America, and people put this basically lie in a pro-Nazi pamphlet, and we're like, see, look,
oh, is it like the?
Benjamin Franklin told us about the Jews. We all love America.
I
and-
just love
Is it-
that Bin Laden is such a big Benny Franklin guy.
right.
Is it Is it like the Protocols of the Elders of Zion?
No, this is just like a little speech that Ben Franklin allegedly gave at the Constitutional Convention.
Somebody wrote it on a napkin.
Yeah, there's a very similar thing that went around pro-Nazism time. Still today, KKK uses it. It's called the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, where it's like this very just made up thing that like the Jewish like elders do,
Yeah.
and it's just like, oh, and they sacrifice babies and shit like that. Yeah, right.
So allegedly,
Bin Laden
according-
was just ground floor Rothschilds conspiracies.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
You could sell him Rothschild shit all day. So he's referencing this thing, which is, so again, everyone who's like, wow, this opened my eyes. It's such a different perspective on history and blah, blah, blah. He's referencing a literal fake fucking document invented by fucking Nazis to try to make Nazism, which you say you hate, happen in America.
It really do be your own.
Yeah,
So
but
it's essentially Benjamin Franklin was at the Constitutional Convention arguing, this is what it alleges, to, I guess, write an amendment or something to just keep Jews out of the United States. And
that's that's why we put him on the $100 bill to mock him. It's like, oh, you don't want this? Now you're on our highest denomination of money.
And that is why he attacked the Twin Towers,
Yeah,
to get justice for Benny.
yeah.
So here's an especially funny thing from the letter that bin Laden cited, because I don't know if he read it. Don't know if he read it based on this part.
I don't think the people that were celebrating this letter read it.
Nope.
There's a lot of reading not done here.
So here's part of the letter.
We're a headline culture.
Here's part of the speech attributed to Benjamin Franklin. Let's see if you find anything ironic here. For more than 1,700 years, they, the Jews, have lamented their sorrowful fate, namely, that they have been driven out of their motherland. But, gentlemen, if the civilized world today should give them back Palestine and their property, they would immediately find pressing reason for not returning there.
What?
So if they were given their land back, they wouldn't go back?
They'd take over.
Two things in that paragraph. First off, Franklin is like, their motherland is Palestine. It's their land.
Right.
Interesting thing.
That's
for
very
Bin Laden to
contradictory.
cite.
Yeah.
Yeah. And secondly,
Kind of a self-own, a little bit of a scoring on your own hoop.
yeah. And then secondly, if we America or whomever just gave them Palestine back, they wouldn't go.
Again, not tracking. Really.
But sure, genius guy that's opening the fucking eyes of the youth. Yeah, great fucking letter to cite. And by the way,
I think the sentence itself is so confusing that maybe it just tricked people.
they hurt themselves in their confusion type of situation.
Yeah.
It's so confusing. You can use it however you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The letter does get more on brand for Bin Laden, though.
Oh, okay.
Yes, all TikTok users are Pokemon.
Hurting
Hurt
themselves
by
in their confusion.
confusion.
Yeah. This part, I will say, that it tracks with Bin Laden. Bin Laden probably liked this part. Well, now, fake Franklin here is explaining why they wouldn't take Palestine back, the Jews. Because they are vampires.
Yeah.
And vampires cannot live on other vampires. They cannot live among themselves. They must live among Christians and others who do not belong for their race. So vampires can't feed on vampires.
Well, yeah. Vampires don't have blood.
Well, they have
Makes
vampire
sense.
blood.
But you don't want that.
They can't eat other vampire blood.
Yeah. You can't.
Yeah.
Mad vampire
It's so
disease.
Yeah, guys, like, we're not vampires. So, it's so silly.
I've never seen
How are you going to
during
say
the
that with
day.
that mustache?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let me see your canines.
They're a little pointy.
They're a little pointy.
They're a little pointy.
Hmm.
I've never seen you out
Dan,
in the
your
sun.
Get a
your
UV
neck,
light.
your neck looks really good, man.
He's chilling up today. He can't see his neck.
No, I know. It kind of makes me mad. You should wear more
I
like.
should button up the top button.
You should reveal your neck more, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it.
This is why I keep a light silver paste on me at all
I've never
times.
day drank with Jake.
I've never seen
That's-
him during the daytime.
That's patently false on your part. We've all day drank.
Together, probably.
Together.
I don't think outside, no. I think you stayed
No,
in.
actually, I know when. I was very drunk when you came to my house. I made you watch Beyond Majestic.
I know. We went inside until it was dark out.
No, and then we went outside for a little bit. And then I made you go back inside because my
Jake,
skin
I'm-
hurt.
I'm not really accusing you of being a vampire.
Yeah, but
Good.
Me thinks he does protest too much.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of like defending yourself to the point where I might think you are a vampire.
Whatever, man.
That controls the media.
Can we get rid of those
and
garlic beef
the
sticks, by the way?
finance.
This, yeah,
It's just
I-
super garlicky.
this actually troubles me because I thought you were just affectionately kissing my son's neck last night, but apparently, you had ulterior motives.
I mean, he's like veal. It's like the veal of humans.
What
Baby?
is worse, being a pedophile or being a vampire?
Probably pedophile.
I'd
Pedophile.
imagine pedophile.
Pedophile still.
Yeah, I would own trying to eat the child.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to fuck him. just trying to drain him of his blood.
There's also this gem in the very frank Ben Franklin letter that was invented by Nazis in the 1930s that I just liked because it's like so obviously a Nazi wrote this. It's like it made me giggle. If the Jews are not excluded, within 200 years, our children will be working in the field to feed Jews while they remain in the counting houses, gleefully rubbing their hands.
It's so weird. Every time I see a gold coin, I like, it's like, baby. Yum. It's like my nose just curls a little more.
People are fucking stupid.
That's just the written version of a caricature from a political ad. Or
Fucking-
like,
I know.
Just sound like Rumpelstiltskin.
yes.
Yeah. He kind of doubles, triples down on the whole why your country sucks ass. A lot of it's economically. He also he thinks that like being gay is perverted, and we think it's personal freedom, but he thinks it's gross.
Is it time to cancel Ben Franklin?
No. I'm saying this has been Laden now.
We're back to bit.
Yeah.
But still, after all that,
After all that stuff, Ben
Benny
Franklin
said.
might have said,
He totally, definitely said.
Totally, yeah. And then, he's like, here's more proof that you're immoral. President Clinton got a blowjob in the White House, and you didn't even punish him.
Yep. That's
But
why
it was
we
a-
rule.
It was a straight blowjob.
I know.
I thought he would be okay with that.
No, it's adultery. He
You know,
even-
it's super easy to get divorced in Islam.
Also, Bin
Is
Laden
it?
had like 12 wives.
I fucking know, man. The problem is that Clinton didn't marry her.
That's right.
Polygamy's fine,
right.
but you just... And by the way, Bin Laden definitely cheated on his wives. I guarantee it.
All the fucking time, dude.
100%.
It's not cheating if you marry him.
Here's another funny part from Bin Laden's letter that seems to be a bit eyebrow-raising to me. See if you guys spot any weird assertions here. You are a nation that exploits women like consumer products or advertising tools, calling upon customers to purchase them. You use women to serve passengers, visitors, and strangers to increase your profit margins. You then rant that you support the liberation of women. Huh? What world are we worse to women than his? What?
Is it because we sell them things?
He sells them.
Oh,
They
yeah.
sell them.
Yeah. No, I mean,
You fucking
you know,
child bride having motherfuckers.
is he saying we whore our women out? Mm-hmm. Weird. He got really specific on how he knew that in a weird way.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you do this whenever people visit? Like, doesn't he say
We
that?
have like waitresses and
Oh, for
stewardesses
sure. Okay.
and stuff like that.
Man,
Yeah.
if he was around now and saw all the OnlyFans page.
He went out at the right time.
Yeah. I'm glad.
Also,
No, because then
his-
we'd catch him. 'cause
his
we'd-
fucking compound was full of porno.
yeah, we would totally see his OnlyFans account and be like, oh, shit, he's following
Everybody.
1,000 people.
Yeah.
There was so
Can
much
you imagine,
porno.
can you imagine like live camming and you just get a little like chink,
Little
like
DM from Bin Laden.
like a little coin pops up and it's like heart Osama.
It's like, thanks, Ubble.
Yeah.
TBL. Like, thanks, Ubble. I'll stick my foot in my own pussy now.
He's really into like the NPC girls that make noises.
I don't even know what that
Oh,
is.
dude.
Oh, ice cream so good. Ice cream so good.
Have you not seen this?
No.
Oh, yeah.
People
it's
act like Sims characters.
That's
yeah, it's like
awesome.
basically everything you can DM at them
Oh, I saw
makes
like a
them
TikTok chick.
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
again kind of, it's not really relevant anymore because it had about 48 hours.
48
Right,
hours.
right, right.
Yeah.
My favorite one was the guy eating the hot dog. There's a guy eating a hot dog.
There was a guy that pretended to be Spider-Man.
We're so good at debasing ourselves now
really
as
are.
a country.
Nothing's real anymore.
No.
He then goes on to complain that our art is pervy and he hates it.
He wasn't a fan of like action movies?
I don't
Come
know,
on.
but he's,
Which art?
I guess not the porn.
Yeah.
Well, that's not art, according to him.
Yeah, it's
Porn is a problem though. He has a point.
There are arguments for that.
Yeah.
There are definitely very sound ones.
Oh yeah. I think it's
Access, I think, is like
Like the late part of our generation and the generation under us that grew up on porn are probably wildly addicted. Or
I didn't grew up on porn. I mean, like I definitely like jerked off to porn as a kid, but like there was a family computer. Like I didn't have devices in my room until I was a senior in high school. So like that, I didn't have like free access to porn at all times.
I had a computer in my room.
I had my own computer.
I had my own computer. Yeah.
Had LimeWire.
You always get the same clip, no matter what you try to search for. It's the same
And
one.
you had to wait so many hours.
for
I mean, for a video, goddamn.
You
For
had
a-
no idea
for a
what it was.
2-minute video. Yeah,
Those download speeds were trash.
I think there's a lot of unethical practices in the production of the content a lot of the time.
I'm sure that we had that porn star on the main show who was like,
We've also interacted with so many porn stars throughout our careers that it's desensitizing.
what, to meet a porn star? I meet a porn star. I'm like, no, okay, hi.
Yeah, I know. It's just
yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, nice to meet you.
It's like if somebody you date or your wife's like, why do you follow that porn star? Like, well, I was friends with her.
We're
in my
we're cool.
life.
We're buddies. But she was saying that like she would show up to set, like everyone has like a no list essentially, and she would show up to set and be like, no DP, and I will never act with like this guy. I'll never do a scene with this guy, or this guy, or this guy, or this guy. And she would like show up and like, hey, we're doing quad DP, and like everyone's from her no list. Be like, is that cool? We just had a couple. I know we told you this was a missionary shoot, but we're putting 8 cocks in you today, and it's all dudes you hate.
Yeah, no, and it's like that. I mean, there's a whole bunch of fucking
It's like
awful shit.
and she would just be like, no, what the fuck, no.
Yeah.
Now this is this is my second favorite part after the Ben Franklin part. I'll read it verbatim, because it's my second favorite part.
Put your hat back on. I know a big moment's coming when you take your hat off to scratch your head.
Mm-hmm. And because of all this, you have been described in history as a nation that spreads diseases that were unknown to man in the past. Go ahead and boast to the nations of man that you brought them AIDS as a satanic American invention.
Hell yeah.
We invented AIDS.
We invented AIDS.
But you would think he would like that aspect because we got rid of a lot of gays.
Kills gay. Well, it's killing a lot of African Muslims too, and I think it's killing more African Muslims than it's killing gays.
Didn't AIDS start in Africa?
Yeah. Yes.
And it was zoonotic. Yeah. Because it came from.
I think it was a
chimps.
wet market situation.
Oh, I thought. Yeah, it was from eating chimps, right?
What if he was
Or-
actually just trying to warn us
monkey.
about gain of function?
Dude, whoa.
He was just anti-Fauci.
He was anti-wet market, bro.
He then goes on to complain that we didn't sign the Kyoto Agreement. So he's an environmentalist as well.
Weird.
Gotta
how-
get some brownie points somehow.
Yeah. I mean, he's all over the place.
That was the other thing circled, I'm sure.
Yeah. This guy's every which way. He's like, hey, you don't pay us enough for oil. Also, you pollute.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this letter even?
It's covering your bases.
Yeah, give us more money for the oil that I definitely still want to sell you. Also, fuck you for polluting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if you're gonna, have an ice cream cone full of poo, you put some jimmies on it.
Absolutely.
Makes it taste better.
And if you only look at the Jimmies, then you go on TikTok.
That's
Yeah.
a chocolate ice cream cone.
Yes. He says, your law is the law of the rich and wealthy people who hold sway in their political parties and fund their campaign elections with their gifts. Okay, valid. That's for sure.
Totally fair.
Behind them stand the Jews.
Oh, okay.
Immediately,
Yeah.
Who control your policies, media, and economy.
He's just a conspiracy theorist.
I mean, this is literally just a conspiracy
It's
letter.
just a conspiracy.
Yeah, and a bunch of kids are just like, ooh, woo, woo. Again, like they're like, well, he's famous. I've heard of him.
Yeah, I mean, like, people talking about, oh, my God, I can't believe my dad got radicalized on Facebook. It's like, just wait.
I tweeted that the other day. It was like, oh, wow, who knew that your boomer uncle wasn't the only one who could believe something insane on social media?
Yeah.
How could we have known?
No, it's because they see it on TikTok, so it's like, oh, it's not like I saw
totally
it on Facebook. Yeah.
Here's the part I take the most umbrage with, the next two parts. This actually pissed me off the most. That which you are singled out for in the history of mankind is that you have used your force to destroy mankind more than any other nation in history.
False.
Well, if there are literally billions of Asians who would disagree that we use our force for evil. Like, we were the only ones fighting Japan.
Yeah.
There are Chinese, Koreans, Filipinos,
Also, think
billions of them.
all those Chinese battles that nobody's ever heard of, where just millions and millions of people lost their lives.
Oh, in World War II?
No,
Well, in World War II in particular, I don't get enough.
throughout history.
Well, yeah. But I'm just saying, to say that, like, oh, we're only ever on the wrong side if we only use our force for bad or whatever like that, I'm billions of non-white people. If you really want to have it not be a white person, like the Europeans in World War II also, like, there are billions of non-white people who are like, thank fucking God someone stopped Japan.
Yeah. Read up on 731, just real quick.
Just read about Japan and China.
I
Yeah.
don't know, but we kept Japanese in internment camps, and a couple, like 1,200 of them died
War
of
sucks.
tuberculosis.
I don't know what else to say to that. Like, war sucks. It's not fun. Bad things happen.
A lot of this too is he complains that we're just like not batting 1,000.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Which, again, how could we? The internment camps were wrong. They're horrible.
They were
but like,
fucked up, yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, I don't. At some point,
So is, like-
you're just complaining that we don't bat 1,000.
So is playing volleyball with a child's head. Right. Yeah. Like, I mean,
Cut off their ass.
I'm not making that part up.
Raping like dead women.
Yeah.
Go. Feel free to
731. Please look it
Google
up.
Siege of Manila.
Yeah. Or
Or
Nanking.
Annie. Yeah, any
It's insane.
occupation of Japan.
Yeah.
Oh, we did an episode on Siege of Manila. Was that on the Patreon though?
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah. So subscribe to the Patreon.
That wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't very funny.
It's a nightmare.
It's horrifying.
Was that part of Spooky Month?
No, it's just one of our
history
episodes.
Again, is that's why we kept the skeletons on the set.
Hey,
man.
this week's Patreon's gonna be a blast, though.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So he then goes on. He goes, he says, you who dropped a nuclear bomb on Japan, even though Japan was ready to negotiate an end to the war. Literally not fucking true.
Not true.
And suck my dick, dude, who just quoted a fucking fake Ben Franklin
Reason
letter.
we had to drop 2 bombs.
Ah! God, I hate that argument. Anyway, how many acts of oppression, tyranny, and injustice have you carried out, oh callers of freedom? Getting sassy again. Again, yes, we have been hypocritical. Yes, we have done fucked up things. We're not batting 1,000, but baby, we are better than anyone else, and I will stand by that. He basically goes on to say, we'll never acknowledge that we're we'll never acknowledge that we're assholes.
We do it all the time.
Stop support. Yeah, I know, right? Stop supporting Israel. Stop supporting the Indians in Kashmir. Stop supporting the Russians fighting the Chechens.
You had to slip that Kashmir bit in there, didn't
baby,
yeah.
Stop supporting the Manila government against Muslims in the South Philippines. By the way, that's the Philippines we liberated from the Japanese that invaded it and did horrible things to it. But I guess we're just going to just skip around that part. I mean, I don't even know what the fuck you want from us at this point. We also, again, he gets a little sassy in here.
I think he just wants us to mind our business.
But he doesn't want to mind his business.
No, you can't go with that argument. Be like,
Mind your business so that I cannot mind mine.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then bend the knee, and then convert, and then follow Sharia law.
it's based on a foundation of I'm gonna do these things though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We also advise you to pack your luggage and get out of our lands. We desire for your goodness, guidance, and righteousness, so do not force us to send you back as cargo in coffins.
edgy.
We want good things for us. So he's basically like, hey, man, we want good things for you, specifically for you to convert and surrender. Don't make us kill you if you don't.
Fair.
Fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Yeah.
it's a threat of violence.
And then
All that has been.
he kind of ends with some Quran quotes, but before that, he says, what does he say? Oh, we also call you to deal with us and interact with us on the basis of mutual interests and benefits. Fair enough. Rather than the policies of subdual, theft, and occupation. Okay, fair enough. You want a fairer deal. Okay. Then he continues. And not to continue your policy of supporting the Jews because this will result in more disasters for you.
Yeah.
Jews. Just Jews.
All. Yeah. No, we want peace except for them.
Except for the Jews.
Yeah.
But they're not people.
From the river to the sea.
Yeah. Yeah, he just kind of goes on like that. He makes fun of us for doing bad in the Crusades, even though we won a couple of them. But yes, we were below 500.
Yeah, no, he's right there.
Yeah.
It's a good.
Take that win.
We'll
You
take
can
that L.
dub.
We'll take that L, yeah.
Yeah.
And then this part.
But also the Crusades that we had to do because you also crusaded.
Yeah. It was a crusade in response to a crusade. Everyone's an asshole, so on and so forth. And then here's the part that I mentioned earlier. If the Americans do not respond, then their fate will be that of the Soviets who fled from Afghanistan to deal with their military defeat. Bro. I mean,
We did it. We did that.
we did that.
You know that, though. You know that.
You know.
You had an operative you had to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get the guns?
Where did those stingers come from?
Yeah. Where did the missiles come from?
Anyway,
They met with you directly, dude.
Yeah.
that's the letter. What did you guys learn today?
I'm a vampire, baby. Fangs out.
I think what I've learned today is as long as the thing that is hot in the streets, the thing that is currently trending, if you just kind of package somebody's old kind of terrible manifesto or, point, letter, whatever, as long as you repackage it with whatever's currently trending in this country, somebody will agree with it and make it go viral.
I bet you we can make the Ted Kaczynski manifesto go viral.
We don't
If
even have to put his name on it.
That's too normie.
Yeah.
We need to
Oh,
find.
shit.
We need to dig something up.
There's too many people that also tend to agree with Ted.
Maybe let's do the Franklin speech.
No, I don't want to do it for.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair. That's
yeah.
fair. Let's find something wild. Let's find something wild.
Something real. What if we just grab like a Timothy Dexter letter?
Hell yeah.
If he has anything on foreign policy, I want to read it right now.
I do.
Who's today's Hitler?
I think it's pretty easy.
It might be Hitler.
It might be Hitler.
Still might be Hitler,
But
but
I'm going to go Bin Laden.
oh, that was mine.
Damn it. All right, fine. Ben Franklin.
If he said that,
What about American Nazis?
yeah, Nazis for sure.
Yeah, Nazis and Bin Laden are today's Hitler. Thank you so much for listening. I forgot to mention this at the top of the show, but
If you're new here,
subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/softcorehistory, $5 a month for an entire giant back catalog of content plus
2 episodes
every week. So it's just endless content at this point, like hours and hours. You'll never run out.
and we will be dropping the 2 Patreon episodes pretty early this week because of the holidays. So ingest that how you want.
Yep.
You know, save it if you want.
Do you.
Kind of binge if you want.
Listen to it on Thanksgiving.
But
Fuck
don't
it.
complain. Don't complain that we didn't drop an episode Friday because we put out both episodes on Monday.
Don't. Anyway, for Jake Goldman and Dan Regester, I'm Rob Fox.
You just got soft served.